Today, it's small business lessons inspired by the NFL. The NFL playoffs is going on, so why not mix football with business? Dan Campbell and Urban Meyer both walked into disastrous situations. Campbell took over a Lions team that hadn't won a playoff game in 30 years. Meyer took over a Jaguars team with the first overall pick. They weren't very good. Both were hired to change the culture. Both had strong personalities. Campbell went on to the NFC Championship game within 3 years. Meyer got fired after 13 games, and it was a disaster. What separated them? The same thing that separates the business owners who build something lasting from those that burn out. Today, I'm breaking down 3 pairs of approaches, what makes each one succeed and what makes it fail. I'm Diego, D-I-E-G-O. This is Modern Grower, where we talk about running a profitable farm business, not just a farm. Let's get into today's episode. When Dan Campbell took over the Detroit Lions in 2021, he said he wanted players who would bite off kneecaps. And people laughed. I remember watching things at the time. There was a lot made to do about this, that it was a total joke. What was Detroit doing? Year 1, he was 3-13-1. Year 3, he was in the NFC Championship game. How? Campbell created an environment where players genuinely wanted to fight for each other. He was transparent. He would cry after games in the press conferences, talking about how hard his team worked. He was fully bought in. He would admit his mistakes publicly, and players saw his authenticity. But what really made it work was Campbell wasn't just vibes. It wasn't all just biting kneecaps and clawing our way through. He hired offensive guru coordinator Ben Johnson, one of the brightest minds in football, and let him cook. He built a structure underneath the culture that Dan Campbell was setting up. The energy was real, so the systems supported it. On the other hand, Urban Meyer was a huge college success, winning all throughout his career. He had 3 national championships in college. He was a proven winner. People thought it was a steal when Jacksonville got him as a coach for their NFL team. But it wasn't. He tried installing the same culture that worked at Florida and Ohio State, intense, demanding, his way or the highway. I think he even kicked the kicker at one point. Well, it all imploded after 13 games, less than 1 full season. The most lauded hire in a long time was out of the NFL. Players aren't college kids when they're in the NFL. They're professionals who have families, and these are jobs. They have options. When Urban Meyer belittled players in meetings, they tuned out. When he kicked a player during practice, he lost the locker room. Urban Meyer imposed culture through authority. Campbell built culture through authenticity. The farming parallel. The culture-first farmer builds community. CSA farmers feel like they're part of something. Workers stay for years. When it works, loyalty becomes the foundation for professional operations. Relationships create retention. Systems create profit. When it fails, good vibes get mistaken for a business model. Everyone loves the farm, but nobody's tracking whether it's making money or not. When employees are bought in, employee engagement increases productivity by roughly 17%, but only when there's clear systems underneath. Engagement plus clarity creates profit. Engagement alone creates expensive chaos. Score yourself honestly. Culture strength, are you a 1? Are you a 10? System strength, are you a 1? Are you a 10? If culture's 3 points higher, you've found your bottleneck. At the end of the day, culture is the multiplier. Multiplying by zero is still zero, so you need systems to underlie that culture. Kyle Shanahan is an architect. His offensive system is so well designed that coaches across the league copy it. When he took over the 49ers in 2017, they went 6-10. By 2019, they were in the Super Bowl. By 2023, they were back again. Unfortunately, they still haven't won. So what makes Kyle Shanahan so different? Because the coaches at the 49ers before him were utter disasters. He adapts his system to his players, or he finds players that fit his system. With Jimmy Garoppolo, the offense was safe. Short throws, running. With Brock Purdy, it opened up a little. When Christian McCaffrey arrived, it evolved again. The system is rigorous, but it's also flexible. Shanahan shapes schemes around players, not the reverse. Let's look at the flip side. Matt Rule. Matt Rule turned around college programs at Temple and Baylor with a very specific approach. Physical football, developmental culture. It was his way. The Carolina Panthers gave him full control in 2020. 3 years later, he was fired with an 11-27 record. Not so good. Rule tried running a college program in the NFL. He brought in college assistants. He treated players on the roster like he was recruiting teenagers. When it didn't work, he blamed the players. Shanahan built systems that serves the players. Rule built systems that demanded players serve them. The farming parallel. The system's first farmer runs tight operations. There's harvest schedules, planting calendars, SOPs for everything. When it works, systems create efficiency. But many farmers adjust when reality just doesn't match the plan. A hailstorm destroys some lettuce, they pivot immediately, not 3 weeks later. When it fails, the farmer can't improvise. They plant the same rotation even when the market has shifted. They follow spreadsheets that don't reflect reality. I've interviewed dozens of farmers with beautiful systems, detailed spreadsheets, they're planners. But despite those systems, the ones that are truly, really profitable, they don't always follow the system. They have to pivot when the situation demands it. The ones who struggle are the ones that follow the system even when it's failing them. This is why some online courses, some books, some farm models get such bad raps unfairly. People blindly follow a system that worked for one farmer in one location in one market. They try and apply it exactly in their situation without any adapting, and it doesn't work, and they blame the model, not the fact that they didn't adapt. The reality is systems save time. 15 minutes daily equals 91 hours annually, worth $2,700 at $30 an hour. But systems that block a $5,000 opportunity cost more than they save. Identify one rule in your systems that you never break. Then ask, would I create this rule today if I was starting from scratch? Remember, systems are servants, not masters. Mike Vrabel won 3 Super Bowls as a linebacker under Bill Belichick. His DNA is defensive, physical, disciplined, no nonsense. As a head coach in Tennessee, he built exactly that. Tough teams, good defense, run the ball, Derrick Henry, down your throat all day. And it worked until it didn't. You could say that's front office mistakes, but nonetheless, by 2023, the game had evolved and Mike Vrabel's Titans hadn't, and they fired him. Maybe not so justified in hindsight. But here's where it gets interesting. Most coaches blame circumstances. Vrabel took a year off, studied what he'd missed, came back different. When the New England Patriots hired him in 2025, he brought the same fundamental toughness, but with a better offensive infrastructure. He delegated more. Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator. let you cook. He built around his awesome quarterback, Drake May, instead of forcing Drake May to fit some sort of outdated mold. The result? At the time of this recording, the Patriots are still in the playoffs, and they went from 4-13 to 14-3 in 1 year. In hindsight, Vrabel's fundamentals, they didn't change, but his willingness to build around them did. This approach doesn't always work, and Vic Fangio is a great example. He's one of the best defensive coordinators of his generation. His schemes are studied league-wide. Denver hired him as a head coach in 2019. 3 years later, he was gone with a 19-30 record. The defense was usually pretty good, but everything else, it was a mess. Clock management baffled him. He had no feel for offense. He couldn't connect with his players beyond the X's and the O's. Fangio was a specialist who got promoted into a generalist role and never expanded. The farming parallel for this one. The fundamentals first farmer focuses on doing basics really well. Proven crops, established channels, no trend chasing. When it works, the foundation funds experimentation. 80% solid, 20% testing new markets. When it fails, fundamentals become an excuse to never change. The same playbook in 2015 as we're now running in 2025. Wholesale margins have collapsed since then, but they're still doing the same thing. After talking to hundreds of farmers on the podcast, the ones who survive long-term often adapt and change every 5 years or so, not because they want to, but because they see changes in the market and the market forces them to. The fundamentals first farmer who made it, they hate changing, but they do it anyway. Markets shift 5 to 8% annually. The landscape you built for in 2020 in a blank type world is 25 to 40% different than it is today. Has your operation adapted? Look at your business 5 years ago. What percentage of it would be recognizable today? If it's over 80%, you probably haven't adapted enough. Fundamentals are the floor, not the ceiling. 3 approaches, 6 different coaches, 3 succeeded, 3 failed. The difference was self-awareness. Dan Campbell knew culture needed structure, Shanahan knew that systems needed flexibility, and Mike Vrabel knew fundamentals needed evolution. On the other side, Urban Meyer thought personality was enough to get him to succeed, Rule thought his system was enough, and Fangio thought defensive excellence was enough. Whatever your natural strength is, relationships, processes, fundamentals, growing, it's not enough alone. The question isn't, what am I good at? It's what am I missing? Find that blind spot, learn to fill it yourself or get somebody else to fill it, and build something that lasts. If you ignore it, you become one of our cautionary tales. Now, go build a farm business, not just a farm. This is Modern Grower. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.